This is part 2 on the chakra videos. If you haven't already, please go back and watch part 1. I will link it below, just so you can get the basics. What's so fascinating about chakras is that each of us stands at a certain point of evolution that relates to the chakra, and that determines how we see the world. Someone who lives in the sacral chakra, for instance, sees the world in terms of gratification of their desires. And someone who lives at the solar plexus sees the world in terms of gratification of power instincts. And those who are in the heart chakra in terms of compassion and love for all of humanity. The degree of our state of consciousness and activity of our nervous system is also related here. Someone at a lower level chakra cannot understand someone at a higher level chakra, but someone at a higher level chakra can understand those at a lower level. And that's because they've been there before and they have had certain circuits awakened for handling life's experiences as they moved up the chakras. It is very hard for those not living in safety to arise to living in the heart chakra, but it's not impossible. One needs to create conditions of safety to stabilize the nervous system and develop practices for developing love and compassion to help open the heart chakra. I will link below more information on this. Even within the chakras, there are different levels of evolution. Someone from the Manipura center may be more balanced and aware and use their power drives in a positive and constructive manner. Each chakra has its own neurological plexus and endocrine gland and links up with various organs and systems in the body. We can think of each level in the spinal cord as controlling a different segment in the body, and at the same time, respectively, a level of functioning in the mind and the nervous system. The root chakra, for example, controls very deep, powerful, primitive, animalistic, unconscious neurological circuitry at the bottom of the brain common to animals, reptiles, and birds, known as the medulla. The third eye chakra is much more complex, as it is linked to controlling intuition and higher mental facilities, related to the two most evolved circuits of the cerebral cortex. Yogis tell us that the Anja, or third eye chakra, is involved with the subtle and psychic energies, and they give us tools to develop our spirituality, sensitivity to that area, and expand our normal capacity. However, in most people, the Anja, the pineal gland associated with it, is dormant. Those living mostly from the root or sacral chakra would mean that the Anja functions mostly from the medulla or the reptilian brain. When we stimulate and awaken centers through yoga, we jump levels in our nervous system and consciously awaken higher pineal, thalamic areas and their coinciding levels of consciousness.